Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Talking Movies with D, and that's me. Here on the show, we give you the latest in everything movie news related, and we give you a little bit of, info on what everything means. I'm your host, Derek Woodring, actor, model, and big movie buff, and I'm joined again by my homie, close friend, comic book weirdo, OJ. Thanks for coming, O.
Oh, no problem, man.
Anywho, as most of you might know, we've been on a little bit of a hiatus, scheduling issues. Both of us been real busy, me auditioning and all that other kind of stuff. I'll make a video probably eventually saying what's going on with that. But all that out of the way, let's talk about some of the movie news for today. First thing is the Mission Impossible 5 trailer and the information that comes with it. So they have the trailer that was just dropped a couple weeks ago. They moved their release date from December to July 31st, so it went from a winter release to a summer release. And that's the thing I want to touch on first is with them changing the date. Normally when they change dates, they move it back. Like, I'm moving back 6 months, moving back a year, whatever. And it's like, what's going on with the project? Like, why? Something must be wrong if they're moving it back. But they moved it up. And my main two things with that is, first, you get it out. I think it came out like the weekend or the week before of Star Wars supposed to be coming out. So first, get away from Star Wars. Star Wars is going to kill you, take away a lot of your money. Get away from that juggernaut. You'll lose that battle 10 times out of 10. And then secondly, they moved it to the summer, so it's like you guys must have confidence in this movie to put it in the heart of the summer.
Yeah.
And first off, I love the last movie when they were in Dubai and all that. So, but backtracking on that, what did you think of the trailer?
Well, it goes back to kind of the conversation we had earlier with Tom Cruise, and you always see him kind of doing the same thing. He's always running. There's always an explosion behind him. He's blowing up, and he's doing all that kind of stuff. And you've seen a little bit of that in this trailer. But to me, I'm not 100% tired of the Mission Impossible series. Tom Cruise is good at being Ethan Hawke or whatever the character's name is. Ethan Hunt. Yeah, there we go.
Ethan Hawke's a person.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he does a good job playing that character. So. I'm not tired of it, and another thing they always incorporate like the newest, latest technology into the Mission Impossible series. Like it makes you kind of think, like, is that real? Could they really do that? So I'm excited to see this one based on the technology and stuff that might be in it.
Anything in the trailer that had you like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see it?
No, I mean there was one thing that you had brought up about the plane scene. So because you brought it up, I'm gonna be looking forward to that, but. I didn't see anything. Oh no, there was one thing I did. Now that I think about it, like where he jumped down to like it was like a massive sinkhole full of water or something like that. I was like, oh, there we go. I'm pretty sure this one he don't have the little strings hanging on his back. That became so iconic with the Mission Impossible series. So that part right there, I kind of want to see how he ends up at the end of that tunnel or whatever that he jumped down. So
I feel you.
Yeah.
My thoughts on it. I'm excited for the movie. I mean, just because of the last one, I'm excited for it. And the big thing is that we talked about him on the airplanes, because like in the last one when he was in Dubai on the tallest building in the world, that was him on the building. So everybody was like, okay, what are they gonna do to top that? Like, this is Tom Cruise, not a stunt man, but Tom Cruise. If you see the trailer where he's hanging off the plane and it takes off, that's Tom Cruise. Like, this guy you don't need to do that. Like Denzel said himself, like, I'm not doing that. Get a stunt guy. Like, I'm not risking my life, but. I mean, it kind of takes away when you have a stunt guy because you got to hide his face a little bit or whatever. And the fact that you see is Tom Cruise really taking off on the plane, which is crazy for one. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like there's a lot of balls to do that. I mean, I don't know. There's not a lot of people that do that. Like Jackie Chan, my man. He's one of the people that he's doing all the stunts. There's no stunt doubles.
Yeah. Quick question: you make it big someday in the future, you doing your own stunts?
Depends.
On what? You hanging off an airplane?
No, I don't think so. That's what I said. I might do something that's like, oh yeah, I'm doing that. Then be like, hey, Derek, you gonna do this? No. Get that guy. Get my stunt double in there. All right. I'm not gonna do something that's I'm gonna die. Like, hey, Derek, you gonna fly off a car, flip upside down, it's gonna explode, and you got to get out real fast. I'll pass on that one. I'll just, I'll be like, that was me for a second.
Yeah.
So yeah, that part, I don't know about that. But the movie. Overall, looks good. I'm excited, and I've heard nothing but good things from it. So that's all good for there. Now, the piece of news that's probably we've touched on it a little bit a couple of videos ago, but at the same time, there's so much new information coming from it that I have to talk about it, and it's about this guy, Deadpool. Just throw it out there. So we have They actually did a video. Let's talk about the video first. They did a video for April Fools that was talking about the rating. And you just watched the video a little while ago.
Yeah.
What did you think of the video? The video's funny.
I think we agreed on that 100%. It was vintage, classic Deadpool. How they, I don't want to spoil it if you ain't seen it, but it was they did it well with Mario Lopez and everything like that. At first, I thought it was like a real commercial, and then yeah, you see Deadpool doing his own thing. So if they're going with that direction based on that commercial with the movie, I think it's going to be great. They had to go with the R rating, so it's not for the kiddos, you know. And Deadpool is just not that kind of character. You can't confine him in a PG-13 film because you won't get the whole essence of what Deadpool does. You won't get all of that with the PG-13 rating. So the fact that it is going to be rated R, I think it's probably going to hurt the overall financial success of the movie, but all the diehard fans should definitely go see it, because if it's based off anything like the test footage and also that commercial that I just seen, it's gonna be good.
Let me ask you this, since you said about, the reason they make it PG-13 is for it to be more kid friendly.
Yeah.
You have kids.
Yeah.
Would you take them to see Deadpool?
No.
Not even Marcus, the oldest.
Yeah.
So you would take him, or you wouldn't?
I wouldn't take anybody under the age of. Yeah, I wouldn't take. Marcus is a different scenario.
Yeah.
Because he's a little bit different, but yeah, I would say you'd have to be definitely mentally mature to appreciate it, and also
be able to take
be able to take it in. So,
and I think that's the risk they take. But it's like, so the movie's gonna be rated R, and I was under the impression, just because of the business, that I wanted to be rated R, but I also was accepting if it was going to be PG-13, just because I was like, with Deadpool, there's a lot of jokes you can make with it being PG-13, because he can like, just test footage, he was cussing, but they were bleeping him out. Yeah. And I was like, he can be like, mother, beep, 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 and they're like, they're blocking me because it's PG-13. Why can't we just make it rated R? He could have made that joke.
Yeah.
But, to go with that, it was, where was I going? Well, anyway, whatever. But the fact that they made it rated R, I'm way happier. And if you compare it to movies like Blade, the first Blade, where Blade was real gritty, it still made, I don't remember how much it exactly made, but it made a lot of money. And they don't need Deadpool to be, for one, it don't need to be $1 billion franchise. It's gonna, I would say it, at the end of this worldwide box office, it's gonna make over $300 million, because the diehard fans, it looks like it's going to be a great movie from everything they're doing. Like, everything they're doing seems right and perfect for the character and for the fan base or whatnot, and just for the movie in general. And to go into a comic book movie and have that much fun, it's going to be good. Mm. But the other two things to talk about with Deadpool was the photos that are coming out. So one of the photos was is Ryan Reynolds, his face. It's showing that it's scarred because Deadpool, his face is deformed. And then the other photo is they're in Vancouver shooting right now, and it's from the scene on set, and it's the test footage photos. So we're seeing that the test footage that we were talking about a couple videos ago, they're actually shooting that stuff right now, which I think it should be the beginning of the movie or very early in the movie. And that gets me excited, because that means we're going to see exactly what they were talking about, which lets me think that I think the test footage was part of the script. Mm-hmm. And they just did that. It's like, let's just show them and give them a taste of what the movie's going to be, and that's going to be and see what they do with it. And going off the test footage, the whole Mario Lopez little skit to say for April Fools that this is going to be a rated R movie, and I'm gonna put that video in the link as well so you guys can see it. It lets me think this movie's going to be great. It's going to be true to Deadpool, because Ryan Reynolds, everything they're doing is so good that Ryan Reynolds and everybody on the team really knows what they're doing. They made a rated R and everything. Yeah. The next piece of news I want to talk about, which, that's not big news, but I have to talk about it, is this past Thursday, they did the pre-screening for Avengers Age of Ultron. And this is part of the reason why I wish I was in LA, for one. And I need to hurry up and get on my acting game to where I can be in a Star Wars Avengers type movie, superhero. I need to play these characters before they run out, because they don't have a lot of black ones anyway. So I gotta get on it. I gotta get on these movies too. But they did the press screening for them, and before that, I saw the third trailer, but after that, I was like, I don't want to see any more. And now there's been, I think, 2 more TV spots. They've been playing them in front of the college games. They put out more posters. There's like, and then some people are talking about this is leaked or this is the billing for this and whatever. And I've been I've been staying away from it. Like I don't want to see any more because I want there to be more surprises. I don't want to. I'm mad. I know what Vision looks like already because I saw that poster. But yeah, so I was like, I don't want any more. I just want to go and see the movie because I'm so excited. This is my second highest anticipated movie of the year. And I want to check my, I don't want to be like way up here and the movie's just right there. So I'm a little disappointed. I want to be my expectations and I just want to be blown off the wall. But, so a lot of critics in them saw it and usually they say you can't put your review out until a week before the movie comes out. Well, what they did this time was you can't review it and talk about it in detail, but you can say what you thought of it. So you can be able to like your reaction basically. And, all the people that I follow or whatever, and even other critics, they were like, just as good as the first one, but a little different. Great movie in this way. Hawkeye's great for this reason. Black Widow, whoever's great for this reason. I'm like, leave me alone. Like I wish I could have been there and saw it so I can be saying what they're saying, and the anticipation's killing me. I can't wait till May 1st. I'm probably gonna see it twice that weekend, including with the Mayweather fight going on. Right. And but. What do you think about everything going on with the Avengers? Like, I know you saw the first, where you're a Marvel fan, fanboy. What do you think about everything that's going on with this?
I think we did, like you said, we touched on it in one of the previous videos, and I'm getting tired of all the trailers. I don't need 6 trailers for the movie. Just give me 2 or 3, get me excited, and back to what you said, I don't want to be overhyped for it, and then it just kind of barely, skims the top of my expectations. And, I think that was what happened with the first one. Like, I seen Hulk, I seen all these other people, and I knew they were coming together for a movie, but then when I finally saw it and how I wrote together, I was,
Mind exploded.
Yeah, and now I'm seeing all this other stuff, and I feel like I already know what the movie's about. I mean, I know what the movie's about, just based off of
the synopsis or whatever.
Yeah, but now I feel like I'm not as excited because I know I've seen too much already. I've seen the Hulk fight with Iron Man. I've seen all the miniature. What's his name? Just forgot. The bad guy.
Oh, Ultron.
Seen all the little mini Ultrons flying around. So I'm not as excited anymore because I feel like I already know what the movie's about. But anyway, I'm still gonna see it for sure, but it's not as highly anticipated as it was before.
I'm just trying to check my expectations. But going off of that, and going off of that, what do you think is gonna make opening weekend? The first one made over 200 million opening weekend, and Fast 7, which we'll talk about later, made a little under 150. Do you think it's gonna make over 200 million or under 200 million?
I think it's gonna make under, but that's based off of. I think Fast 7 had
it's tracking for 200 million.
I think Fast 7 had a strong showing, because of everybody wanted to see like the last performance of everything with Paul Walker. So I think everybody wanted to rush out and see that, and this might be potentially the last Fast and Furious movie in the series. I don't know if it is. It's not. Whatever. The last one with Paul Walker.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So everybody wanted to go out and have a showing for that, and R.I.P. Paul Walker. Where was I going with that? Yeah, so
why you think it's going to be under 200?
Right. So because for my own personal reasons, the reason I believe it's going to be under 200 is because we already seen the Avengers, right? And they keep shoving all these trailers down our throats. And me personally, I'm not as excited to go see it because I feel like I've already seen it. So why waste another $30 trying to see the movie that I already know it's about? I'm going to, but I'm not as super excited to see it. So I feel like there might be more people out there that kind of agree with me and they're not as excited to see the movie as they were as the first because they already know what it's about.
Okay. I'm going to have to disagree, but there's a couple of reasons why. So I think part of the reason why they're putting out so much is for people like Adrian and other people that they see a movie a year. Like I've recently talked to people and like, I haven't watched a movie in a year. Like been in a movie there and like, what planet are you from? Like, what do you do? You're like, I work a lot. I work all the daggone time, but somehow I'll make sure I see all these movies. Like,
yeah, you go to movies at least 2 to 3 times a week.
Usually, but anyway. But I think the reason they put those out is because I think they're looking to beat the first Avengers. I forgot it made like 1.3 billion. It was somewhere up in the billions worldwide.
I gotta cut you off a little bit. That's kind of what upsets me. Like, don't shove it down my throat. Like, go see it. New trailer. I don't know.
But they want it's not for you. It's for everybody else. It's for those people, like, especially with them putting it with March Madness Duke. Everybody's watching it. Not everybody that's watching those. So Duke
why can't
games.
You show the same trailer that you showed 2 months ago? Why you gotta show a new one?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't. That's why I've been diving them. I don't want any more trial. I don't want to see anything else. Yeah. But I think, and then on top of that, the fact that everybody saw the first one and they love. No, can't think of anybody that didn't like the first one. And not saying it's one of the best. It's probably the best comic book movie of all time. But most sequels always do better, no matter what. And the fact that Fast 7,
Blade didn't.
Huh?
Blade didn't.
Or whatever. But no, not that it's better as a movie, but it box office did better. I don't know if it did. I didn't look at Blaze of Blood, but I think it might have. But
not Blade Trinity.
No, that one sucked. But God dang it, why you gotta bring up that bad movie?
Sorry.
That movie sucked. But anywho, and I own it sadly. So usually sequels do better financially. They do better. And so you have that. You have it right on the high of Avengers 1 being so great. And then on top of that, with Fast 7, granted, I know some part of it was, Paul Walker's final movie and stuff like that. But I think the fact that that movie did so well shows people want to go to the movies. People want to get that big blockbuster that, just stuff popcorn in my face and enjoy it. They want that. So the fact that they want that, and look at the last couple of Marvels. So, Guardians of the Galaxy did great. Winter Soldier did great. Like, Marvel's on the track. Their track record is just doing this. It's really just, just better movie, or it's all on the same scales. Like, trust Marvel. You got to trust Marvel. But then you have all these characters or whatnot. So that I'm just in love with.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Just me personally.
It's the trailers. I don't like the trailers.
Don't force it on me.
Don't force anything
I'll
on
go.
me. I don't
want to
go. I'll go.
Yeah.
Don't make me try to go.
Yeah.
But so now I'm getting to the part where I do email questions. This is the first time we've actually done it. Is take some emails from you guys, and if you guys ever want to send an email in, just it's talking movies with the letter D, not DE, like I normally do, at gmail.com, and I'll give you guys a shout out, and we'll just talk about whatever you put in the email. This person, his name's Mark George, a guy from work. Mark can give you a shout out, like I said I would.
Shout out them trains. Yeah. Shout out to them trains.
Yeah, he's good guy. So he actually had 3 questions in his email. I'm only going to talk about 2 of them, and another one I'll probably bring up in another video. But this question, both of these questions I thought all of them were great. But this one kind of talks about an earlier subject. He said, do you think Deadpool will live up to the hype? And depending on the success of the movie, do you think Marvel will bring him back into the X-Men franchise? So, me personally, I think it's going to live up to the hype. It don't come out until, I think, February of next year. But they're doing everything so perfect that I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to live up to the hype. It's going to be everything we want it to be because they're doing everything right. As long as I don't get 5 trailers later on, I won't get bad with it. Yeah. But as far as is it going to be an X-Men franchise, I heard he's going to be an X-Men Apocalypse. That's the next X-Men movie. But it's after Deadpool, I believe. But that's the next X-Men movie, and I think what they're going to do is, and I'm kind of hoping it. His movies are rated R. Mm-hmm. They're not going to make X-Men rated R, but if you're going to put Deadpool in there, it's going to be PG-13. But he's probably still going to be Deadpool. Scale back a little bit, but that's where they can go back to that, bleep him out, and he's the one character that knows he's in a movie. So he'll be like, oh yeah, this is PG-13. You guys don't know. My bad. I got to be good or something. Like, he can make those jokes. So I think they're going to play with that. And as well as Hugh Jackman, which I know you don't like him as Wolverine, but he's talking about retiring. The final Wolverine movie is his last Wolverine movie. What he says, I don't really believe it because I personally think he's good at Wolverine. A lot of people like him. This guy doesn't. Mm-hmm. But anywho, he's in love with Wolverine for one, and he's a comic book purist, so he doesn't like Hugh Jackman, whatever. But I think Deadpool will be the next guy on Wolverine's level because they use Wolverine in everything. I think Deadpool's the next guy, and Ryan Reynolds is young enough and could do it. So I think that would be it. Like if that movie takes off,
he's going to be the
Ryan Reynolds.
You think he's going to be the face of the X-Men franchise?
Yeah, I think it's going to do that switch.
Yeah. I think to answer the question, do I think Deadpool will live up to the hype? I think so. Just solely based on the fact that they got Ryan Reynolds back in there, and he's just that wisecracking guy all the time anyway. So I think it's going to live up to expectations based on him just being in the movie. Yeah. And I think these movie producers and directors are really smart, and they think outside of the box a lot of the times, and they can capture a lot of the stuff that we loved in the comics and transfer it to the film. So hopefully they do that.
Fox has been on a roll. After the crappy 2 Fantastic Four movies and the first bad X-Men and the X-Men Last Stand, Fox has been on a roll since those, and they've stumbled a little bit with some stuff, like some mistakes, but for the most part, everything they've done has been great. Like they're not Marvel level, as in their amount of movies that are great,
Right.
but they've been making great movies like X-Men: Days of Future Past being so good and stuff like that. So
To answer the second question, I don't think I got to disagree with you a little bit on that. I don't think Deadpool can be that flagship guy. I don't think he can. I think he'll be brought in. I agree with you on that. I think he'll be brought in on some of the films, little cameos here and there, or maybe a supporting role. But I don't think he can be the flagship guy because the way I think about the franchise working out is. I look at the characters and I look at them outside of the franchise. Like I look at like Halloween costumes and just how popular all the other characters are. Like you see Hulk, you see Wolverine, you see all these other people and other stuff. And I mean Deadpool is great, and I know he's one of your favorites, but I don't see little kids showing up at my door dressed up in Deadpool costumes with knives and guns. Just based on that.
Adults do.
If there's an adult at my door.
No, not at your. Don't go to your door.
Oh, okay.
But like you go to Halloween events, I've seen Deadpools already.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say that has my house. Deadpool.
It's like this. What up, bro?
Game over.
But I feel you there. That's a good way. It can go either way. I think it can go either way.
Yeah.
So the next thing that Mark asked was that we talk about a lot of action and drama, which we do. My favorite. I mean, that sci-fi, fantasy, that kind of all groups into it. He said, but you guys don't talk about horror movies. To answer that question about horror movies, why we don't talk about them a lot.
What was the question? Why
don't we talk about horror movies, really? I mean, we haven't had a lot of episodes, for one. And between when I started shooting the video and now, there haven't been very many horror movies. And for the most part, a lot of horror movies suck. Like 70% of them are like bad. I mean, do you agree or disagree with that part?
To be honest, that's not my favorite genre of movie.
Yeah,
and the ones that I have kind of wanted to see and go out of the way to see, they haven't been all that great. So
yeah, so like I think I've seen 2 horror movies this year. Lazarus Effect sucked. Like I'm tired of the demon movie where she's possessed, and I think like because horror movies aren't like my shtick. I'll watch a good horror movie, and some horror movies are good, but the thing with me with horror movies is I put myself in them, which is probably my problem because I'm like, okay, so if me and my group of friends were in this scenario, what would happen? Well, we wouldn't do that. That's stupid. That's dumb. Why'd they fall? Why do you guys separate and do this? So like, I pick it apart, and that kind of messes me up. And then the jump scares, like I'm waiting for it. Like I'll go in like, oh, they're trying to scare me. So I'm prepared. Like this probably instead of me enjoying, I'm like, okay, there's gonna be a scary part right there, and it happens. And I'm like, oh yeah, you didn't scare me because I saw it coming. But and I've also some of the movies I've wanted to see that were supposed to be good, I missed them in theater. And if I don't catch it in theater, I probably won't watch it because it's the experience of horror movies is best in theaters. And the funny part about this question is that day I got it, I actually went and saw a horror movie I was looking forward to, and it's actually pretty good. It's called It Follows. And the premise is kind of messed up. I don't think I even told you about it yet. So I gotta say, it was pretty good. It got it was in the last couple of film festivals, and everybody loved it. And they picked it up and like put it out real fast. Yeah. And basically, the premise is instead of there being an HIV/AIDS or whatever, it's basically a person gets a disease, and the only way for you to get rid of this disease is for you to have sex with somebody else. If you want your kids not to have sex, show them this movie. I'm just saying it right now. It's for you to have sex with somebody else, and they have the disease now, and you don't have it. But the weird part is, the disease isn't like you die slowly or whatever. It's literally you see some person. It could be somebody you know, somebody you don't know, and usually they're messed up and in white. They're like walking like or whatever. They're like clothes are ripped off or whatever. They look kind of like a zombie-ish or whatever. They look like freaky. But they're walking to you to kill you. Like their job is to come after you and kill you.
So you have to hurry up and sleep with somebody.
Sleep with somebody to get them away from you.
To keep them from killing you.
Yeah, to keep them from killing you. But the couple small differences. It's kind of weird. But it's for one, it's original, and for two, it actually is pretty interesting. The thing is with it is, for one, they only walk to you. They don't run at you. They walk like super slow at you. So literally, they're right here. If we can just shake them real fast, we can get away from them. So if you ever had the disease, you can still see them. Nobody else if you haven't had the disease, you can't see them for one. And if they kill that person that has the disease, it goes after the person that slept with them first. So if I slept with somebody and I had it and they got it now, if they die, it's gonna come back for me. So like during the movie, I'm like, how? Like I always interject myself in. I'm like, how can I beat this? And I'm not gonna tell you guys my thought process. I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell you how I figured they should do it. No, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it real fast. So basically, what I was like, if you're gonna, because all humanity, you want to survive. You're gonna have sex with somebody. You're just gonna pass it on. Because no matter what, it's gonna keep going either way. So you have sex with the next person. Instead of you leaving them like people might do, you have sex when you guys band together as a team. I'm like, okay, we got to make sure you have sex with the next person, and then y'all band together as a team and keep having sex and keep contact. So I know 100 people down, I'm good for a while. Like, because if it kills 100, if you get to 100 people away from you and those people die, it's gonna come after you. So you're gonna, no matter what, you have that. Did the next person survive? Did it kill them too? Because if it kills them, it's gonna come after you. So like,
I think you thought about that too much.
I'm in the movie. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down like, how can I survive? If this was real, how do you survive? So I went into depth about that, but the movie's good. It's a good horror movie. I already talked to Mark about it. I told Mark he should go see it because like it looks weird. I'm like, it's pretty good. And
don't take your kids, I guess.
No, but I say show it to them if you don't want to be scared to have sex. Especially like if I have a daughter, I'm like, hey, if you do this, this is gonna happen. All right, you don't have sex because this will happen to you. But anyway,
Parenting D-Wood style.
for real. But the next segment is movie picks.
Yeah.
So we pick one movie that's in theater, one movie that's on Blu-ray, and we give you it's basically us saying go see this movie. So OJ, what's your favorite movie in theater?
The movie that I seen most recently that I liked the most was probably Get Hard with Kevin Hart and my boy Will Ferrell.
As Mayo?
As that boy Mayo.
Mayo.
When I seen the trailers and stuff like that, at first I was just like, oh man, how's this going to work? Because to be honest, I was getting a little tired of Kevin Hart being in everything. But I'm a diehard Will Ferrell fan. He's probably one of my top 3 comedians of all time. Everything that guy does is funny to me. So I was kind of a little apprehensive because I was tired of Kevin Hart a little bit. I mean, he's still funny, don't get me wrong, but
his movies.
Yeah, he's always playing the little short guy with the complex. And he kind of did in this movie, but I think it worked out well. The chemistry was pretty good, and I recommend seeing that movie, Get Hard.
I like that you pick Get Hard. I'm in the same boat. I like Kevin Hart's movies, but at the same time, it's like a stigma on it to me. It's like, it's cool for what it is, and I'm getting tired of him being. I want him to do something different, and every now and then he does something a little different. Mm-hmm. And this kind of had it, but the movie's Will Ferrell's my guy. The movie's funny, but I think the only downfall I would say with it is it carried like toward more towards the end where it was getting serious. Mm-hmm. It lost its funny for me. And I mean, so I can see if somebody was to go see it and they complain. But like, yeah, I get it. Any comedy, if you make me laugh a lot, you're golden. Mm-hmm. People might be like, hey, that movie the plot was stupid. It was funny. That's all I needed. I was going there to laugh. Yeah. So I agree with you on that one. For mine, my movie pick is obvious. I'm gonna pick Fast 7, which is probably, it has no competition for this week either. And you said you haven't seen it, right?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
But so. Anybody that asks me about it now, been talked about the Fast 7, is that if you like the last 2, you'll love this one. Not saying that it's better than the last 2, but Fast and the Furious became part of the parts with it is, it's like borderline not real. Like the stunts they do, the stuff they get away with or whatever. It's like nah, that might not happen, but maybe they can get away with it. Yeah. So if you go with that stigma, if you're just going in to have fun and enjoy the cars, girls, guys, or whatever, you're gonna love it. And as far as villain goes, Jason Statham, that was my favorite part of the movie because and they would stay true. Like I remember, I think it was the 4th one, whatever one The Rock was in the first time. I was mad because I'm like, there's no way Vin Diesel's beating up The Rock. Like, sorry, Vin Diesel, The Rock will beat the crap out of you. Yeah. That's not believable. Yeah. And I was worried with that in this movie. And I'm not going to say what happened, but everything they did, it didn't make me feel like, oh yeah, there's no possible way this or this would happen. So, I mean, the Jason Statham, they made him that guy. Like, you don't mess with him. That's good. So, I love that. But,
I think I'm gonna just to talk about the Fast 7 a little bit.
Hold on, and they did Paul Walker well. Okay. The send off at the end, yeah, they did it well. They did it well.
And that's kind of what I was going to talk about. Like I really enjoyed. I think the first. Well, when the original came out, we were teenagers. You know what I'm saying? And
fast cars.
Kind of get into the whole tuner scene, and That's what I appreciated about the first 2 to 3 movies because they were still talking about the underground scene.
I'm sorry, did you like the third one?
Was that
Tokyo Drift?
Who was in that? Was that Bow Wow? Was Bow Wow in that one?
Yes.
I liked it because of the cars, but that's when I started. That's when I started to get away from it because
just the cars. Okay.
I didn't really care about the story. Like when it was about underground cars,
Racing.
underground racing, and then trying to make money to do this and this, and they were using all these modified cars. That was my favorite part about it because that's what I was kind of into. And now it seems like they've gone into like using $1 million cars, Lambos, Ferraris. That stuff's not realistic for the everyday person. So that's kind of turned me off a little bit. But I mean, the action's been over the top. They're using tanks and airplanes and all that kind of stuff.
It's an action movie now. It's not a race movie.
It's not a race movie anymore, and
exactly.
which is cool. It had to grow up. It had to transition into the newer age. But I still remember him and the Supra. Back in the day, them racing down the street against the
RX-7. We had the RX-7.
And he had the RX-7 when Vin Diesel had the RX-7. Man, yeah, that's the Fast and Furious I remember. So I mean, I'm glad the series has transitioned into and it's still very popular. But I more so appreciate it for the first 2 or 3 movies when it was the underground racing scene. So
all right, so what's your Blu-ray pick?
My Blu-ray pick is gonna have to. It's gonna have to be this movie that I just watched the other day. It's called Predestination.
I haven't seen that one.
Ethan Hawke. It's a little bit of a twisted psychological thriller. I think it deals with time loops, and I've become a big fan of the time loop movies where people are stuck in time loops, kind of like Groundhog's Day, where people are kind of repeating the same stuff over and over again. So if you're a fan of that, check that movie out. Predestination.
All right, mine. I'm gonna cheat real quick because it's been a while since we did a video, so I'm gonna bring up this movie, but I'm not gonna talk about it. Just my favorite movie of the year, which won the Oscars, Birdman. It's a great movie. My boy Michael Eaton's in it. Batman. Keaton. Yeah, I don't want to say about Michael Eaton. Dang, that's the dude from work, huh? Okay, whatever. But Michael Keaton, the real Batman. But I just want to bring that up because that's my favorite movie of the year. But the movie that I'm actually picking to talk about is Interstellar, with a guy Christopher Nolan who made Inception, all the Batmans, or the last 3 Batmans, and if you didn't see it in IMAX, that's sad because that movie's like Avatar and whatever other big blockbuster. That's a movie you see it immerses you in that world to where it's about space, the technology, the story. It's just, did you see it? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's just, man, that movie had you. I mean, granted, not the last 10 minutes, but the 15 minutes before the last 10 minutes were bad and weird. Yeah. Which,
what you want now.
like,
you said it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a point. I think if I was to do a 1 out of 10, I give that movie a 9. Only because that 15 minutes was so retarded to me. It didn't make sense, and that was that's my only complaint. But everything else, it's a movie that makes you think. You're getting a lot of. I don't know. We both are in science and relativity and black holes or whatever, and so it brings you in that. And I don't know if it really make you think. And so it's not for you to watch and kind of pay attention. You have to really watch the movie and be immersed in it to even get it. And it's great on all fronts except for that 15-minute weird wormhole part and the 2 other things. It didn't answer 2 questions for me. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to spoil anything in the movie. But there was 2 questions I'll tell you later that they didn't explain in the movie, and it made me mad because I was like, I want this answer, and they didn't give it to me, so that made me mad. But the movie's great. I already got it on Blu-ray. I think I'll watch it at least once. But it's a 3-hour movie, so you got to really sit that time away to watch it.
Great movie. I did enjoy it too, except for the last part.
Yeah. Last part. Well, everybody, thanks again for watching the videos, supporting. Just make sure you guys, if you guys want to send an email in to talkingmovieswithd@gmail.com. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit that subscribe button on YouTube, as well as click the thumbs up button to let us know you like it, so that way we can keep videos coming to you more often. We'll do our best. I know I'm busy usually, but this video is long because there's so much going on in the movie world that I want to talk about so much, and it's like I gotta shorten that. So I'm gonna make sure I get on my duty to give you guys more movies, more content, because I've had people ask me. But also make sure you guys talk in the comments, because I love when I run into people at the gym or wherever, and you guys talk about, hey, thanks, I like the video, I'm glad you're talking about movies. So I'm gonna do my best to keep them coming, and just keep giving me your feedback, and that's all I got. This is everybody.